Hello everyone, hope y'all are doing well. But yeah, I just wanted to mention some things that are coming up, and we've probably already been feeling a lot of this energy. Of course, the Mars-Uranus conjunction was Monday on the 15th of July, so there could have been, there was the attempted assassination on Donald Trump, so that's definitely Mars, related to blood and attacks and aggression, sudden, unexpected, which is Uranus. And it was taking place on Algol, the fixed star Algol, at 26 Taurus, and Donald Trump has his midheaven, so the top of the chart point at 20, I think it's at 25, or somewhere close to Algol, so that tracks. So hopefully everybody survived, and these energies will be more noticeable if they are hitting your points, like the midheaven, ascendant, descendant, or IC. But it's starting to wane, and Mars is about to enter Gemini, and Mars in Gemini is going to have us feeling very wanting to do all the things. Gemini again is like connected to communication, and it's that squirrel energy, wanting to be in. It's almost like that fear of missing out kind of energy, where you just want to pursue every idea and brainstorm and just come up. And it's a great energy for this. Like, brainstorming is going to definitely be productive, and we can be doing more things. Mars was in Taurus, which is more of a relaxed, slow energy, like a slower pace, but Gemini is a lot more mercurial. It's ruled by Mercury, and you can get a lot more stuff done with Mars in this air sign. And so it's kind of like, especially as it trines Pluto in Aquarius, as well as the South Node in Libra, there's going to be a lot of mental activity about some, transformative changes and perceptions and thought forms. This is actually a very potent energy for manifestation. So, like, literally Pluto, the planet of transformation, like epic transformation on a collective level, because it's in Aquarius, and it affects all of us. It's like what connects us all. And the South Node in Libra, the South Node being the energy of where we let go of things, and we just kind of, things start to dissolve in the air sign of Libra. It's like, relationships, the idea of having to be dependent on someone else. And there's a lot of other things connected to Libra, like justice and fairness and balance and harmony. Is ruled by Venus. And so the things that we think we value, or we used to value, will be changing. Mars moving into Gemini. Gemini is also a mutable energy, so we're looking at different options. And with Mars in Gemini, is going to eventually meet up with Jupiter, so that's going to really expand our thirst for knowledge. And it can kind of get a little, depending on what's in your chart and what's in the charts of people around you, it can be kind of a like super trickster. Like, people can be testing your nerves. So again, it's important to check yourself, check your emotions. Don't get caught up in all the dramatics. The cool thing about Mars in Gemini is that it will be making cooperative, friendly aspects to the planets in Leo. And we have Venus in Leo at the moment. The Sun will be moving into Leo in a few days, which is the beginning of Leo season. And so those two energies is like a very magical time for performances, like getting out there and mingling. It's a very sociable sign. Like, Leo loves to be out and about and seen and have a good time. And Gemini loves to talk, so they're going to be looking for listeners. And those two as a pair, if you have friends who are Leos or Gemini, or they have both energies in their chart, they can be a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun having energy, which is great. And these energies are in Yang signs, and so our nodes, our North and South Node, are also in Yang signs, in Aries, the North Node, and South Node in Libra. So they're all compatible, and we're going to be working together and cooperative, and it's going to be supportive for our evolution. And so we're going to be understanding what to let go of a lot more, and using the Jupiter and Gemini ability to really use those compassionate words, because Saturn is still in Pisces squaring the Gemini placements, Gemini energies. But the thing I like about this time right now is that there are no planets squaring the nodes. I mean, we have the Sun currently in Cancer, but it's about to move into Leo, and it's like outside of the 15-degree orb. Like the nodes are at 10 degrees, and the Sun is at like 26, and so that's more than 15 degrees away from the point of the nodes. So we will have some time before they square again. I think, let me see, I think the next square won't be for another little while. So yeah, while Mars is in Gemini, it will be in Gemini from the 20th of July until September 4th, and then it'll be in Cancer. And so when it enters Cancer, and when it reaches, let's see, I think when it reaches, I want to say on the 16th of September, I think that's when it will reach, is it 7 degrees? Then it will square the nodes. And then we will be faced with a choice point with our goals and our actions to either go forward into the future, which is our Aries North Node, or revert back to our old ways, which is the South Node in Libra. And so Mars and the nodes will be at 7 degrees September 16th. So we have some time to enjoy like no squares to the nodes, unless you have them in your chart, of course. And then also the moon, when the moon comes back around to either Cancer or Capricorn. Which actually, yeah, that leads me to my next point. So the 21st is a second full moon in Capricorn, considered a blue moon. So it's the second blue moon in one moon cycle. So this one, the first one was at, I think, 2 degrees of Capricorn. So that was, I think it was June 21st. And now this one's going to be at 29 degrees, and that's considered an anaretic degree. It's like an extreme energy. And so it's the energy of really wanting to let go of the hierarchy, powers, and letting go of what no longer serves us. I mean, that's like the theme of this year and next year, especially with Capricorn in the sign of Aquarius, but it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn in September to 29 degrees Capricorn. And it's going to be that last, like, you know, Pluto wants to uproot things and really dig into where the truth lies so that it can be cleaned up and exposed. So this is going to be, and like the full moon exposes, like it shines a light, it illuminates what is in the shadows. And so we're going to be looking at the shadows of the Capricorn Cancer axis, and like the mother-father archetypes, you know, like the dependency, the emotionality, the detachment. You know, like Cancer can be very sensitive and over emotional, and almost feeling like there's, you know, a hopelessness. Like that's the shadow side of Cancer. Of course, the lighter side of Cancer, the high vibe side is like very nurturing and uplifting, can be emotionally, like very emotionally intelligent, like knows exactly when to initiate a conversation or like make a change. It is a cardinal sign. So like whenever there's a disturbance in the vibe and the emotions, Cancers are very good at picking up on that, and they're able to, like, if you think about, you know, mothers who have that intuition and knows when their child needs comfort or when they're hungry, or, you know, it's that mother's intuition is that same sort of knack for knowing when to step in and offer support. And on the opposite end is Capricorn, and Capricorn is the, you know, traditionally or archetypally the provider, is unemotional, which can be useful in situations where, you know, they just need to get the job done so that they can provide, whether that's like on the farms, you know, way back in the day when Capricorn was thinking about the future to really have a harvest, you know, like there was a focus on what needs to be done, what needs to be organized so that there is a cushion for the family to survive on. the shadow side of that can be like unemotionality and having this focus and like almost like an obsession with like savings and money and like this like greediness of, and almost like hoarding as well, like having all of this harvest or all of this abundance, but losing sight of, why are you even doing this? Like, who are you doing this for? There's a spectrum of energies between Cancer and Capricorn, as with all of the signs and their polarities. There's a spectrum that we want to dance between, and I mean, that's kind of how life operates. We're always dancing on the spectrum of these polarities between any two given signs, and learning what works and learning what doesn't work, and it changes as life goes on, and planets shift, sorry, but yeah, like that's the Capricorn full moon on the 21st, and this will be like meeting up. This will shortly be meeting up with Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is at 1 degree Aquarius. Let me just make sure. 1 degree. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's at 0 degrees. Sorry, Pluto's at 0 degrees Aquarius at the moment because it is retrograde, and the full moon is going to meet up with Pluto. I mean, it's already within range. 29 degrees is the full moon, and then like within 2-3 days it'll stay in that energy of moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, which is going to really kind of have us feeling there's a change that we really desire, and it's going to be in a trine to the Gemini placements. So Jupiter in Gemini is at 11 degrees, and so it won't be like smack, right on the degree, but it's still within like 15 degrees. And so we can expect like a lot of mental activity. I feel like there's going to be a lot of conversations about changes that will be underway, are already in process. And again, this is going to be opposing a Leo. And so Leo and Aquarius are fixed signs, and they can be, Leo's already known to be dramatic, and that can be like a trigger for a lot of us who have Leo placements, like Sun, Moon, or Rising. And it's ruled by the Sun, and like the Sun, I was watching Adam Ellenboss's, like he's got a series on the Moon in each sign, and the most recent one he did was the Moon in Leo. But like besides the Moon, as far as a Leo archetype, we are also in the most yang stable period of the year in terms of seasons. And so that's, how Adam Ellenboss describes it, and so that relates to like a fullness in the Leo personality, like proud, regal, and loyal, but sometimes self-important, overly dramatic. Queenly, but sometimes inflated, sometimes a diva. Dramatic and popular, childlike but powerful, and sometimes a whiner. What came to mind when I was hearing this was confidence for sure, but also there's this kind of privilege that colors the Leo energies, and so I see this opposition between the Leo placements, the Sun, which will be moving into Leo on the 22nd, and then Pluto opposing this as, really checking your privilege or having your privilege checked. In some way, it's going to play out. It can play out in several different ways, but just really having that experience of, being on the other side of the token, like where the tables are turned. Maybe, you didn't think that, you were exercising this privilege, and Pluto's going to call you out on it in some shape or form. And it can be uncomfortable. Pluto's the type to make us feel uncomfortable because he's shining light on our shadows, and we can be triggered and feel like we're the victim in some way, which is typical of the Leo archetype. It can be dramatic and childlike, and so that can sometimes come out as like whining, just, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we've all dealt with that kind of energy at some level, whether it's like children or family or coworkers or friends, even with animals. Animals have their own personality too. So I just wanted to bring those energies to your attention. You might be wondering, like, why is this happening, you know? And it's all meant to bring awareness to the energies that we are not aware of, like bring the unconscious conscious. That way we can learn and, you know, make those adjustments and just evolve as an individual soul and as a collective. So hopefully that made sense, and hopefully that was helpful. I think that's all I wanted to mention at the moment. And we are in a Mercury shadow period as of, I think it was as of the 16th, when Mercury reached 23 degrees. It retrogrades starting in Virgo at 4 degrees, but it'll come back to 23 degrees Leo and then turn back around and move direct at 23 Leo. So we're going to be revisiting whatever it is that we're working on, the communications that we are involved with since Mercury hit 23 degrees. And so there can be like a revising or re-evaluating or some sort of like redoing of some sort with whatever we're up to in regards to Mercury themes, like communication, travel, transactions, commerce, you know, all things related to Mercury, vehicles. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. And if you know anybody who is ruled by Mercury, which is Gemini and Virgo, like they are a sun, moon, rising, this Mercury retrograde will affect them. There can be frustration. Of course, Virgos like to have everything in place and in order and, you know, in perfect operation, but that will not be the case for the next month or so, month and a half. And I mean, we can just expect to have to repeat ourselves because Mercury retrograde, Mercury shadow, we can kind of stumble over our words or forget, you know, some particular detail. It's not the end of the world. We can definitely learn to practice more grace with one another and with ourselves. You know, we are not perfect machines. We're human. We are designed to make mistakes so that we can learn from them and create something new. So I think that is all I wanted to mention for the meantime, and just stay grounded. Don't get distracted. I mean, try to go within, go inside. I mean, we all have our own paths and experience to have, so, you know, do what you want. But I mean, yeah, it's an exciting time, and we can definitely find more of the solutions to our own issues when we go inside. But definitely let me know if you are curious about diving into your own personal birth chart so that we can kind of explore what's been going on and the energies that are at play and how they affect you personally. I mean, there's so much to uncover when looking at a chart, so happy to translate the symbology. And I do send out newsletters a couple times a month, so feel free to subscribe. Links are below. My link tree has all kinds of stuff on there, so yeah, take a look and enjoy the energies. Hopefully that made sense. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, thanks.